We interrupt our normal program. Normal broadcasting will now be discontinued. This station will continue to broadcast.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Fargo Police Department. As of 10:01 a.m. Central Daylight Time, technical failures have resulted in the 911 Operations Center in Fargo serving the city of Fargo and Cass County to go offline. There are unconfirmed reports that cell service and landlines inside the city of Fargo and through Cass County have also been hampered. Efforts are being taken to restore functionality to the 911 system, but it isn't known currently how long it will affect the city. It is strongly recommended that all persons in Fargo should avoid using the telephone at this time. If you have an emergency, call 701-235-4493. Residents of Moorhead, Minnesota are not affected by this outage. Stay tuned to local media for further information. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Fargo Police Department. Information has been received that a nuclear power plant operated by the U.S. government west of Fargo has been damaged, and there is a risk of a meltdown. This nuclear power plant was a classified secret run by an agency of the U.S. government, and we do not know the full details of what is occurring. Efforts are being undertaken to bring the power plant offline. This may result in power outages in the city of Fargo. Residents should shelter in place now. Ensure you have food, water and medical supplies for 3 days. Lock all doors and windows, use towels or blankets to seal any cracks or holes, and turn off air conditioning and ventilation.
This is WDAY News Talk, 93.1 FM and 970 AM. Regular broadcasting has been temporarily suspended due to unforeseen circumstances. Please stand by, and we will be on the air again in a moment. This is WDAY News Talk, 93.1 FM and 970 AM. Regular broadcasting has been temporarily suspended due to unforeseen circumstances. Please stand by, and we will be on the air again in a moment. This is WDAY News Talk, 93.1 FM and 970 AM. Regular broadcasting has been temporarily suspended due to
The following message is transmitted at the request of the U.S. government and Fargo Police Department. A power outage in the city of Fargo has occurred due to a near meltdown of a nuclear reactor west of Fargo. There is currently no risk of radiological contamination, as the measures taken to prevent such an incident were successful, and therefore it is no longer necessary to shelter in place. However, power outages are occurring throughout eastern North Dakota, western Minnesota, and northeastern South Dakota. All residents should take precautionary measures for a prolonged power outage, as there is no word yet on how long the power outage will take place. Keep freezers closed to preserve food inside. Unplug computers, televisions and other electronics so power surges do not destroy them. Limit use of cell phones as it will be impossible to charge them for a prolonged period of time. The National Weather Service in Fargo has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the following areas: Southern Trail County in southeastern North Dakota, Southern Steele County in southeastern North Dakota, Olive Cass County in southeastern North Dakota, Eastern Barnes County in southeastern North Dakota, Northern Richland County in southeastern North Dakota, Northwestern Ransom County in southeastern North Dakota, all of Norman County in west central Minnesota, Eastern Monoman County in west central Minnesota, all of Clay County in west central Minnesota, Eastern Becker County in west central Minnesota, Northern Wilkin County in west central Minnesota, and northeastern Otter Tail County in west central Minnesota, until 11:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time. At around 10:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time, a massive thunderstorm system centered on the city of Fargo, North Dakota was detected. Hazard: torrential rain, lightning strikes, baseball-sized hail, wind gusts of up to 80 miles per hour. Source: radar indicated in local reports. Impact: massive hail damage is to be expected, along with wind damage, flash flooding, and wildfires. The storm does not appear to be traveling in any direction, and instead is centered at a spot 5 miles west of Fargo. Powerful lightning strikes have been reported in the area, and large hailstones the size of a baseball have been reported in the area. All residents of the affected areas should seek shelter now. This is a life-threatening situation. Stay tuned to local media for further news and updates.
Des débris tourbillonnant près du sol, des débris volants ou tout en menaçant qui approchent, mettez-vous à l'abri immédiatement. Rendez-vous à l'intérieur dans une pièce située au dernier étage, loin des murs extérieurs et des fenêtres, tels que le sous-sol, la salle de bain, la cage d'escalier ou le placard intérieur. Laissez les maisons mobiles, véhicules, tentes, remorques et autres zones abris temporaires ou indépendants et déplacez-vous vers un bâtiment solide si vous le pouvez. En dernier recours, allongez-vous dans un endroit bas et protégez votre tête des débris volants. La foudre tue et blesse des Canadiens chaque année. Rappelez-vous, quand le tonnerre gronde, allez à l'intérieur.
A message in English will follow. Event type, tornado, for Fargo, Dakota and area, local emergency in effect. At 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, Environment Canada meteorologists are tracking a severe thunderstorm that is producing multiple tornadoes. Damaging winds, large hail and locally intense rainfall are also possible. Tornado warnings are issued when imminent or occurring thunderstorms are likely to produce or are producing tornadoes. Take cover immediately if threatening weather approaches. If you hear a roaring sound or see a funnel cloud, swirling debris near the ground, flying debris, or any threatening weather approaching, take shelter immediately. Go indoors to a room on the lowest floor, away from outside walls and windows, such as a basement, bathroom, stairwell, or interior closet. Leave mobile homes, vehicles, tents, trailers, and other temporary or freestanding shelter. and move to a strong building if you can. As a last resort, lie in a low spot and protect your head from flying debris. Lightning kills and injures Canadians every year. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors.
Un message français suivra. Type d'événement tornado, pour Fargo, Dakota Area jusqu'à nouvel ordre, menace régionale. À 10h30, heure normale du centre, les météorologues délivrent au Canada surveillent un orage violent qui produit plusieurs tornades.
Has issued a flash flood warning for the following areas: Southern Trail County in East Central Dakota, Southern Iron County in East Central Dakota, all of Cass County in East Central Dakota, Eastern Barnes County in East Central Dakota, Northern Klein County in East Central Dakota, Northwestern Hollyford County in East Central Dakota, all of Norman County in West Central Minnesota, Eastern Monoman County in West Central Minnesota, all of Moorhead County in West Central Minnesota, Eastern Danson County in West Central Minnesota, Northern Wilkin County in West Central Minnesota, and Northeastern Otter Tail County in West Central Minnesota, until 12:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Hazard: flash flood. Source: weather radar detection. Impact: heavy rain is occurring in the warned area. Life-threatening flash flooding is already occurring. This is a flash flood emergency for the Fargo-Moorhead area of eastern Dakota and west central Minnesota. Precautionary preparedness actions. Move to higher ground now. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order. Be especially cautious at night when it is harder to recognize the dangers of flooding. A flash flood warning means that flooding is imminent or occurring. If you are in the warned area, move to higher ground immediately. Residents living along streams and creeks take immediate precautions to protect life and property. Turn around.
The following message is being transmitted at the request of the Fargo Free City Defense Corps. Zombie forces have been detected in a large horde traveling north from Old South Dakota, and are expected to arrive in the Fargo Free City area in the next 3 hours. All residents should remove themselves to safety behind the city walls now. Move in a quick, but unpanicked manner. Militia members should report to their muster points with weapons, and medical personnel be prepared for casualties. Civilians not involved in the defense of the city should evacuate to the bunkers now, as directed by Defense Corps personnel. Wait for the all-clear message from this station before opening the doors and leaving the bunkers. Opening the doors to the bunker before the all-clear may result in zombie infection, mutation, and death. Heed all instructions from Defense Corps personnel. They are here to help.
Here is a special and urgent message for you. This is Howard Viken, your official civil defense announcer. Civil defense authorities have determined that it is advisable for all persons to leave the city. Your safety and perhaps your life depends on remaining calm and following these instructions. Do not attempt to cross town. Leave the city immediately by the shortest route. Absent members of the family will rejoin the family after they leave the city. Federal authorities have indicated an enemy air attack is probable. We are not certain that it definitely will come here, but there is a chance that we will be attacked. Follow these instructions. Put your emergency supply of food, clothing, bottled water, medicines, and first aid supplies in your car. Load all the members of the family that are at home now into the car and leave the area. Don't try to telephone anyone. Drive on the shortest possible route to get outside the city. Travel at least, I repeat, at least 50 miles from the city. Do not attempt to cross town or drive across roads being used by others as they leave town. Follow civil defense road signs and directions. Your car radio should be tuned to 640 or 1240 for official instructions. Remain calm and give everybody else the same chance you want for yourself to leave town. We can all get to safe areas if we act calmly. If your car is disabled on the highway and cannot be repaired immediately, push it to the side of the road and ride with someone else. By the same token, if your car is not full, pick up people walking along the road or street. Obey civil defense police and wardens. Stay in traffic lanes and stay in your place. If you try to pass other cars, you'll only cause traffic jams. Do not try to cross evacuation routes. Avoid main bridges if possible. If you have a place of refuge far enough away, go there and remain until we give you information that will permit your return. If you do not have a place prepared for yourself, drive at least 50 miles from the target area. Civil defense will instruct you there. Cooperate with civil defense workers and they will help you. Do not listen to rumors, and above all, keep calm. Your life depends on it. Keep tuned to this station for further information and tell your neighbors to tune in also. This is your official civil defense broadcaster, Howard Viken. This is your official civil defense broadcaster, Howard Viken.
The President of the United States has directed that we discontinue programming for an indeterminate period of time. This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Spacecraft of an indeterminate origin are currently entering the atmosphere and are targeting major cities and military bases all over the United States and the world. These crafts have undoubted hostile intentions, and there has been no ability to communicate with them right now. Attacks have been undertaken by these unidentified flying objects on military personnel and civilians fleeing targeted areas. Major cities including New York, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Minneapolis, Houston, Chicago, Detroit, San Francisco, Los Angeles and Seattle have all been nearly destroyed. Casualties are expected to be in the millions. All residents of the United States should seek shelter now. You are permitted to use firearms to protect your lives and your property should this be required. This invasion of the world by extraterrestrial forces is the greatest danger to humanity that we have ever faced. But we will not go quietly into the night. We will be victorious, or we will die trying.
Apologize for the interruption to this broadcast. Please stand by for a message from the American Emergency Warning System. We apologize for the interruption to this broadcast. Please stand by for a message from the American Emergency Warning System. This is the American Emergency Warning System. The current threat level is emergency alert, meaning that an emergency is currently taking place and you should take immediate steps to ensure your safety. Seek shelter now. Seek a place of safety now. Seek shelter now. Seek a place of safety now. An invasion of the United States by the German Reich is currently underway. All residents of the United States should seek shelter now. Naval invasions are occurring throughout the eastern seaboard. Soldiers are currently paradropping throughout the Midwest, while supersonic bomber attacks are currently bombing major cities and military bases around the country. Tactical nuclear weapons have been used by the Germans as well, so a major risk for fallout is ongoing. Please stay off major roads, highways, and interstates as they are required for military personnel to repel this unprovoked invasion. Martial law has been declared by President Hillary Rodham for the entire United States. The draft has been activated, and all men and women over the age of 18 are possibly liable for military service. All civilians should seek shelter now. Ensure you have a supply of food, water, and medical supplies for up to 7 days, and a battery-operated radio to continue listening for life-saving information on this channel.
This is the ABC from New York City. We interrupt all programming now as a matter of national security is currently taking place in the United States of America. Please ensure your television is audible and stand by for further instructions. This is the ABC from New York City. We interrupt all programming now as a matter of national security is currently taking place in the United States of America. Please ensure your television is audible and stand by for further instructions. The U.S. Army has taken the President, Congress and other government institutions under protective custody. The Joint Chiefs of Staff have formed a temporary executive authority until new elections can be held. All non-essential activities of the federal and state governments are ordered to cease activities for an indefinite period. Martial law has been declared across the United States, effective immediately. All Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine and Space Force personnel are required to report to their posts immediately. All state National Guard units have been mobilized and nationalized, and are required to report to their muster points. Failure to comply will be considered desertion, and will be subject to immediate military justice. All citizens are directed to return to their homes now. A curfew will begin at 6 p.m. tonight. All interstate highways are closed to military traffic. All airports are closed, and all flights currently in the air are ordered to divert to the nearest airport. All mass transit systems shall end their services at the next stop. Habeas corpus has been temporarily suspended. All rights in the Constitution are temporarily suspended. Telephone, mobile phone, internet and all television networks are now under military control. Prepare to show identification to pass checkpoints. All firearms are to be disabled or turned over to authorized personnel. Failure to comply with orders given by members of the U.S. Armed Forces will be met with arrest, imprisonment, or
Meltdown programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WDAY-TV. We will continue to serve the Fargo, North Dakota area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Fargo, North Dakota area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WDAY-TV. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Fargo, North Dakota area. If you are not in the Fargo, North Dakota area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area.
We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WDAY-TV. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Fargo, North Dakota area. If you are not in the Fargo, North Dakota area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area.
We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WDAY-TV. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Fargo, North Dakota area. If you are not in the Fargo, North Dakota area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WDAY-TV. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Fargo, North Dakota area. If you are not in the Fargo, North Dakota area, you should tune to station.
Ladies and gentlemen, a representative of the United States government.
To all people receiving this broadcast, my name is Dr. Franklin K. Anderson, and I am the lead researcher for a branch of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, better known as DARPA, stationed in Fargo, North Dakota. At our facility, we were conducting top-secret research which, unfortunately, has resulted in the current situation. While I cannot give all the details, what little I can tell you is that we were experimenting with teleportation and wormholes to see if they can be harnessed. Needless to say, we were not able to. For the past half hour, we have been attempting to close the wormhole at our research facility in Fargo, but it has resulted in the city being teleported through time and space, into the past, present, future and other historical timelines. However, all our efforts to close the wormhole have instead only made it stronger, and spawned more of these temporal storms throughout the multiverse, which threatens the whole stability of the universe as we know it. We are attempting one final attempt to close the wormhole. If it succeeds, we will be returned to our original time with very little damage to result from it. But should it fail, well, the thought is too much to comprehend. If you are religious, now is the time to pray. Pray to your higher beings that we may yet see another day. Pray that this will be just a tiny fluke, a crazy story that no one outside of Fargo will ever believe. Pray that we will live through this. Brace yourselves. Do not go outside into the temporal storm. Hold on to something, anything inside. Shelter in a basement or an interior room. If you have epilepsy, close your eyes and do not look at anything, for there could be a lot of bright lights. Thank you. And God have mercy on us all.
Directions. Your car radio should be tuned to 640 or 12.
System. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Space.
We interrupt our normal program. Normal broadcasting will now be discontinued. This station will continue to broadcast